Okay, so Christmas morning, 2017. We decided what we're going to do with this thing here. As you can see, there's a fairly big chip out of the front of this wood stock here. This is for a Marlin 780. Some people, they're also known as I think Mayfield Model 25s. They made them for a bunch of different markets, but it's a fairly old one. I think this one was made in 1981. And I gotta figure out what to do about this. As you can see, I got most of the dents have been steamed out of the stock. Okay, and what you do is you wet the area and you press a wet cloth up against the dent and you iron it basically. There are a couple very small marks. If I could find them, to look for them. I don't know where they all are. And here's one. I got one little mark right here. Another little tiny one right there. And right there. But they're nearly flush with the surface. So I think they'll come out when I sand it. I'm going to lightly sand this whole thing. I gotta figure out what to do with this monstrosity. I think I'll section in a piece there as well. I was considering putting a 2-screw sling swivel, just inlet it in there, but the thing is so off center. I don't know whether you can really see it, but if you look down the stock, you can see it's not even centered. I don't know what the hell this thing is. So anyway, here's what I'm going to do today, this morning. The tip has a little bit of damage, but I can sand that back minimally and not really change much about the stock, and it's only going to change the length of it by about maybe a millimeter, and I can completely have that out. This here though is a problem. You can see it split out around the grain. And sorry, focus, you freaking thing. Split out around the grain there. This is a piece of walnut. I think it's American walnut. I have a lot of walnut stock that I should be able to, I think, I've got something that'll match up fairly well up here. It's not going to have to be perfect, because
I'm not sure.
Sorry, my Alexa up there decided I was talking to it for no freaking reason. Anyway, it doesn't have to match up perfectly. It's got to be close, obviously, so that you can't really detect it. But since I think I'm going to repair this kind of at a angle. I don't think I'm going to notch it out. I might. We'll see. If you notch it out, you need to cut a flat here and then back, which I think I may do just to give it a stronger repair. And then you have to match everything up. And then I'm going to use, I normally use something like Acroglass, but I think I'm going to have better luck if I use this here, this upside down thing of ProBed. It's basically an epoxy that's brown. It'll only really show at the seam, and only just a little bit, because I'm going to fit these so closely that it's basically going to be no space. I may insert a little pin maybe here and here, or just slot it. It's not going to be a very thick piece, you know. It's going to be very thin once I get the thing sanded back down to contour. But that little thin seam, I think if I use the brown epoxy, it'll be basically undetectable. I could use something like, 5-minute epoxy. It would work, but this stuff is a lot stronger. I mean, like super strong. It's for bedding actions, and it takes about 24 hours for it to fully cure. But once it is done. So I think what I'm going to do here is, notch this out. I think I'm just going to use some files. I don't think I really need to cut. I do have a coping saw over here, but some files and some sandpaper just to get everything, matched perfectly. And then what I may do, instead of pins, I may just cut a couple little slots into the wood and into the repair piece, and I think the glass will fill that up enough that it'll give it a lot of strength. That stuff is so strong; it's got the tensile strength about as good as steel. So, imagine you can bed a high-powered rifle in it, and it will absolutely rock solid hold it. So, anyway, that's what I'm doing this morning. Fixing this, and then I may sand out the I got one fairly batted pitted area on this barrel. I don't know whether you can see it or not, right there. It's the only spot that really I couldn't just kind of buff out, so I think I'm going to sand that out and re-blue that area with a little cold blue. It sits down into the stock a little bit, and I don't think it's going to cause any problems. A nice looking little stock. See, there's one of those dents I was telling you about right there. Try to steam that out, but all this stuff will come out without changing the shape of the stock or diminishing it in any serious fashion as far as size. And then once it's refinished, I'm going to recut all this checkering and then fill in the finish, because this I don't know whether this was ever even properly done. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very flat on the tops of these. So either this thing's been sanded and refinished once, or it was just one of these cheapy quick jobs where someone cut some cross hatching in it and didn't actually actually cut checkering and end up with little diamonds. That's what I'm going to do when I'm done everything else. I'm going to recut that. So that'll probably take the longest of this whole project, is chasing out all those little lines with 60-degree cutters and 90-degree cutters. Anyway, that's the plan. Just thought somebody out there might be slightly interested in this, so we'll see how it looks, and see if you can compare. And here's where we're talking about, this side of the gun, well, this side of the stock, and this section right here. That's what we're talking about. And we'll see if anybody can tell once I'm done that anything has been repaired there. I bet you'll be able to tell a little bit, but I'm guessing that you won't be able to. It won't be glaringly obvious. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. My sleepy dog, my sleepy cat. All right, that's it.